direction. A bundle of black and white fur sailed through the opening, and my Aunt Birdie landed on all fours at the same time as the broom thwacked onto the floor once again. My cat aunt jumped at the sound, leaving her eyes wide and her tail more floofy than I'd ever seen it. She spotted the broom and glared at me as she panted. "Cripes, girl, you're supposed to be sweeping, not trying to steal one of my 9 lives." I cringed. "Sorry." Birdie's eerie golden eyes flashed with fire. "Evie, listen to this. The mayor is dead." I thought of the arrogant man whom I'd briefly met when he'd come into the Cookie Corner bakery the previous week. "He's dead? What happened?" Pulsing energy radiated from her body. "No doubt it was a heart attack. I always told Gertie that Maurice Dunn would soon use up the last piece of heart he had and would keel over. They found him drifting in his boat at the edge of the lake." The idea of a heart attack surprised me, since the man had seemed like he was in good shape. "He's not even that old. Are you sure it was a heart attack?" Birdie flipped her tail in frustration. "I don't know. I'm just guessing. But I'd bet that I'm right. We can discuss this later when I'm not in a hurry. Right now I want to get to the lake. My friend Skittles heard dogs barking about the discovery of his body. I could have gone with him to see, but I thought you'd want to come too. Let's go." I wasn't particularly proud of the fact that life and death matters intrigued me, but I couldn't escape my curiosity either. I left the broom where it had landed on the floor and hurried toward her. "Okay, I'm coming." We strode across the back lawn, heading for the lakeside trail at the back edge of our property. The moment we hit the path, heading toward the center of town, Birdie scampered off ahead, leaving me in the dust. I lifted my hand to call out for her to wait, but I realized her instinct to run had taken over. She likely wanted to catch up to this Skittles friend of hers, too. The anticipation of learning what had happened to the mayor washed away my fatigue, and I found myself jogging along the paved trail, past short bushes and houses obscured by trees. I made it to Burgers and Brews, which was the farthest I'd been on the pathway in that direction during the few weeks that I'd lived in Honeysuckle Springs. Beyond that, a mid-size fishing boat bobbed on the water, its motor deathly quiet. Unease floated on the air, likely generated by the group of people who'd gathered to watch the police's endeavors. I spotted Birdie and her orange tabby friend crouched down in the wild grass nearby, watching the activity with wide eyes. Next, I immediately sought out and found Chief Caden Bexley standing near the edge of the lake. Using his weight, he tightly held the rope that was tied to the front of the boat, while 2 of his officers maneuvered a black body bag. The blonde-haired, serious woman I knew as Officer Brooke stood nearby with her fingers wrapped around a bar on the side of an opened stretcher, keeping it from rolling down into the lake. I sensed a presence next to me and found my 5-foot elderly neighbor Gertie standing close to my elbow. "I heard it's the mayor," she said in a low voice. I met her gaze through her thick glasses and gave her a quick nod before I shifted my attention back to the scene. "Yeah, that's what I heard, too." "See him go into the bag?" she whispered. "No, I can't confirm his identity." She answered with a soft grunt. Together, we watched as my nemesis, Officer Riley Weaver, and an older officer with a built body and a graying goatee lifted the zipped black body bag. They struggled to keep their balance as they wrangled the corpse onto the flat front deck of the boat. Officer Weaver released his hold and climbed over the edge, his feet landing with a splash in the shallow water at the lake shore. He tugged the heavy bag halfway off the deck before Caden abandoned the rope he'd held and grabbed the bag to help Officer Weaver. They tugged it partially off the boat when Caden suddenly slipped and fell backward against the bank, the bottom portion of his pants soaking up water. I gasped, and Gertie gripped my elbow as though she, too, had been surprised by